All right, we got some news. This just in from Adam Schefter. Chicago wide receiver Luther Burden III is expected to miss the preseason due to the strained groin injury that he suffered Saturday at practice, but the Bears do believe he should be back for the team's regular season opener versus Carolina. Burden's supposed to be a huge breakout player, a second-year guy at wide receiver. Back on Get Up, and J-Mac, I'm sorry to do this to you. You're not going to love this, but we got to show highlights of a defensive back getting embarrassed in training camp, and that is Jacoby Lane doing it to number 38. I'm sorry I don't have the name, but Jacoby Lane, yet another play, which led our Ravens reporter and longtime man on the scene, Jamison Hensley, to tweet the following. Hensley tweeted this. In 27 years of covering the Ravens, already we've got context.
Wow.
I'm not sure I've seen a rookie have a training camp quite like wide receiver Jacoby Lane. Every day, Lane produces a highlight-making catch, and today he has Derrick Henry leaping in the air in celebration. Do I love August tweets like this? Yes! This is why we do it. Here it is one more time. Jacoby Lane, one-handed, the third-round pick out of USC, which leads us to Ravens talk. And oh boy, will there be plenty this season. As we know, so many changes have been made. Head coach, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Mike T, is Lamar Jackson poised to have the best wide receiver room in the AFC with all the guys that they have now with Zay Flowers and Bateman, and now this guy, Jacoby Lane?
Yeah, possibly. And here's the key. You mentioned Declan Doyle, who's coming over from the Bears. If you look at what Chicago did last year, they were 5th in the league in rushing attempts, and they were 2nd in play action. And I think that's what we're going to see with Lamar Jackson, this revamped receiving core, which is more under center, more play action. And to me, the key is going to be Mark Andrews, because Mark Andrews has been his security blanket for years. So if you have Zay Flowers, who you just paid $36 million, you have Rashad Bateman, and if Jacoby Lane comes along, that's great. But to me, it's going to be protecting Lamar, more play action, and if Mark Andrews can still play at a high level.
Somewhere the Bengals receiving room is watching.
That was.
Rashad Bateman and Jacoby Lane? I know, I set you up for failure there with that question, but that's what it's. There's a lot of hype right now on the Ravens, but you guys know there's other better wide receiver rooms as of right now. They're also one of several teams who have this challenge of these new offensive coordinators. There's so many. And you look at this list, and it's young guy after young guy after young guy. Now, everyone is supposed to be making the play calls here, but with Tommy Rees and Davis Webb, they have offensive head coaches.
Right.
Well, you go Declan Doyle with Jesse Minter, David Blau with Dan Quinn, Sean Mannion with Sirianni, but, you know, Mannion's supposed to be calling the plays here. Roz, your takeaway from all the conversations about all these young offensive coordinators?
I believe this is one of the most significant storylines in the NFL this year, especially early in the season, because these are not just new offensive coordinators to the teams, they are new offensive coordinators to the job. They've not done it before, and they're with, in a number of cases, teams that we expect to contend. So you tell me, you know, is Philadelphia's new offensive coordinator, Sean Mannion, who has been a coach, period, for 3 years, is he going to have the big year, the breakout? Or is Dallas's first-time defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, going to be the one that does it? That kind of thing could swing the NFC East. So you have these untested young guys in these key positions. How are they going to do it? They're not all going to do great. We just don't know which ones are going to be the good ones and which ones are going to struggle.
Is 30. He is a week older than Lamar Jackson, or a month older than Lamar Jackson. That never has called a play. You know, that was Sean Payton before him, and in Chicago was Ben Johnson. So, J-Mac, we're all looking at Lamar and saying, again, this is the year, but that's an interesting dynamic.
It is, and you mentioned, guys, just all 21 new play callers this season going into the NFL. 21. Tribute, obviously, the defenses are really good, so people keep trying. But I think when you look at Declan Doyle, we talk about, will Lamar Jackson be an MVP type of caliber season? A lot of it hinges on that. I don't care about the weapons on the outside. Like, yes, Zay Flowers is an outstanding receiver. Rashad Bateman. What I've been fascinated by is these guys have talked about how different this offense is. Rashad Bateman talked about being moved in different positions and doing things he's yet to do in the NFL. Zay Flowers talked about having Declan Doyle, being able to relate to them, doing things a little bit differently. I want to see what this offense looks like. If Lamar's under center more, does that mean he's running less because he's not in the gun to be able to fake and do all of those things? I want to see what this offense is going to look like in the end.
To that point, the Ravens in-house media team interviewed Lamar, and he said, I would treat the offensive coordinator the same way if he was 30, if he was 50. He goes, the only thing different is we watch some of the same shows on television. I was like, all right, that's
helps.
good. That helps. We'll see how it goes. To baseball, 35 days away from the first. I don't know. We talk about Mahomes' knee again. Let's go. Monday Night Football is 35 days away. Chiefs, Broncos. NFL is here, guys. Mahomes is continuing to progress. Testing his left knee out at training camp. He said he is feeling so good, so much that even he himself is a little surprised. Take a listen.
I forget about it sometimes. I try to be smart, like I said, but there's just sometimes you through camp, man, you're trying to compete. Practices are long, and I mean, you want to win the rep, and so there's times where I do forget about it and just play football, which is a good thing, you know, and then I'll have to do that again whenever we get to the regular season.
It's great to hear that from our former league MVP. Graz, you were there with them at training camp. What's the Chiefs' plan for Patrick Mahomes the rest of the way?
Flat out asked Andy Reid, is he going to play in preseason games? And he said, I don't know. I'm going to pay attention to what the doctors tell me. So that was, a little over a week ago. The message from Andy Reid in that interview was, we need to make sure we keep him safe. And right now, everything we're doing out here at practice is safe for him. So everything has gone well, everything's gone smoothly, but there are some mileposts coming up. If they do want to get him into a preseason game, that's going to be a hold your breath moment. Make sure it's okay. And even if they don't, that means week 1 against the Broncos on Monday night.
One of the best defensive fronts in the
Assuming
league.
he plays, right. So they're at a point where everything they've given him to do, he's done and done well. But they do have a couple of more steps to clear before they feel good about putting him into a game. Remember, Mahomes generally plays in the preseason.
Every year he's played.
So if he doesn't, that's a nod to the injury, but also a difference from previous play.
They usually have their routine where he'll play in front of their home crowd at a home preseason game. He'll play about a half. He'll do some razzle-dazzle pass, and everyone's like, all right, we got our Mahomes. We'll see you.
Yeah.
This year could be different. What kind of impact could it make if he doesn't play in the preseason?
A big impact. And I think to what Ross said, what Andy Reid is saying, like, we've done everything at practice to keep him safe. As a defensive player, Spagnuolo, their coordinator, he's sitting in meetings and he is threatening the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Do not touch Patrick Mahomes. Do not get close to him. If it means losing your rep, lose the freaking rep. So I think when you're looking at Mahomes, if he hasn't played in any preseason games and all he's done is practice, well, now when you get to that Broncos game and it's Monday night and there's 6 guys standing at the line of scrimmage and Vance Joseph, their coordinator, is bringing the house, does he trust his knee to spin out and get outside the pocket? How does he feel from a mental standpoint of being able to plant and drive the ball down the field when someone's
Could
falling
you
at his
simulate
knee?
that in a practice? It's just not. They're
You
not.
can't, because you don't want to risk.
And you would tell your own team, we're never going to do
Don't
that.
get close. You know, Chris Jones knows as a defensive lineman, if we want to get to where we
Don't
want
touch
to
the
get
merchandise.
to, we need 15 out there on the field. We're not going to injure him in practice.
There's a real conundrum here, which is, as a right-handed quarterback, his left knee is the knee that's exposed to the pass rush, as J-Mac just alluded to. When you talk to quarterbacks coming back from this injury, they may be medically cleared, but they're not fully recovered until they get hit, go to the ground, and get back up. So watching this video here, you'll see his left leg